Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Let's take a look at the intro and first couple of chords to Paw Patrol. It looks like this. Paw Patrol, we'll be there on the double. The benefits to this is we are learning a new way to play an A chord, which is very commonly used in genres like classic rock. We're going to look at a way to substitute our F sharp minor bar chord for an F sharp minor shell voicing. We're going to learn how to substitute a B minor bar chord for a B minor 7. And the last thing we're going to do is work on our funk guitar strumming. So let's dive right into it. To start, we're going to look at this A chord. Now, the way to play it is you take your first finger and you bar across the second fret like this. For my people with bigger hands, you can take your thumb, wrap around, and mute the low E string. For my smaller handed people, in this case, your low E can ring out because it's part of the A chord. And to do this, we're going to put the weight on this joint right here. So I'm not barring all the way flat like that. My high E string is going to be muted. So to do that, I'm lifting up the joint very slightly. So that way I'm just not ringing it out. So this is the A chord, and then we're going to go over the other chords too. So after the A chord, then we're going to move to the F sharp minor chord. So you're going to take the first finger, put it on the second fret of the G string, then take your pinky, put it on the fourth fret of the D, and your ring, put it on the fourth fret of the A. And these are the only strings that are going to be ringing out. So for my larger handed people, take your thumb, wrap around, mute the low E. For my smaller handed people, you're going to take your ring finger and nudge it very slightly to mute the low E string. And for this finger, we want to be on the pad, not necessarily on the tip, because otherwise we get this very cool F sharp minor chord, but that's not the one that we are learning today. We want to try to mute these strings in whatever way that you can. Typically what that means is that this first finger is kind of more flat. So that way it can lightly touch these two. So to start, let's just go back and forth between this A chord and this F sharp minor chord. At your own speed, at your own tempo. Make sure that we go one string at a time. So that way we can check and make sure all the strings that need to ring out are being rung out. And then all the strings that need to be muted are the strings that need to be muted. We'll take just a couple more minutes. I say that, I mean a couple more seconds. One more time. So those are two of the new chords. After that, after those chords, then we go to our good old D major chord right there. And then we're going to play our B minor 7. So it looks very similar to D. Your ring finger is going to stay right there. Your middle finger is going to move to the second fret on the G string. And then your pointer finger is going to move to the second fret on the A string. And we still need to do string muting. So this finger is kind of tilted, so that way it's lightly touching the low E. Or for my larger handed people, you can use your thumb too. But I'll typically play this one like this. The hardest part about this chord is getting the D string to ring out. But if you can't get that D string to ring out, don't worry about it too much because you already have a D note right there. And then to mute the high E, my first finger is laying flat enough so that way it's muting the high E. The back of my ring finger is also very slightly touching the high E. So just do one string at a time. check, make sure that those strings are ringing out and that those E strings are getting muted. Once you get used to this chord voicing, not only is it a beautiful chord voicing, but it's a great substitute for your B minor bar chord. So now let's practice going from D to this B minor 7. And continue to do one string at a time. If your low E string rings out on your D major chord, that can be solved by taking your thumb and very lightly touching it like that, if your thumbs are big enough. If you don't have thumbs that are large enough to mute it, then just be more cognizant about that low E string with your strumming hand. And then the very last chord that we go to from this B minor 7 is E. So let's practice going from B minor 7 to E. Just for a few seconds. Alrighty, now that we've done that, let's look at the strumming hand. So the pattern goes like this. So you'll notice that it's the down, down, up, down, up, the calypso strum, but it's really fast. And then once we get to the B minor 7 and the E, it changes slightly. But what we're going to try is just this bar switching from A to F sharp minor slower, like this. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. And we're just going to go back and forth between the A and the F sharp minor like that. 1, 2, here we go. F sharp minor. And I only put that rest in there just so that way the tab would be easier to read. You can let that note tie. One more time. On the A. Now we're going to do the same thing, except this time we're going to go from F sharp minor to D. So that will look like this. And then back to F sharp minor. The hard part about this is making sure those strings are muted. Go ahead and join me. So you might have to reposition that first finger to get the strings to mute. And if you hear some squeaks or squawks, that's okay too. This riff is played very fast in general, so if it's not super clean sounding, that's okay, because this is rock and roll. One more time. Okay. Now what we're going to do is look at this drum pattern. So now this drum pattern goes like this. So the way that I get those X's, those dead strings to ring out, is I play the B minor 7, then I lay my fingers flat, and then I transition to E. And then I go back to whatever chord comes after the after those dead notes there. These notes in particular are really great for funk guitar because they add a percussive element to your playing, which adds more energy to the music that you're providing. So let's just practice like this. And just go back and forth like that. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, down, up to E, and down, up, B minor 7. And also, once you get used to this, it's a really great way to do chord transitions that are more difficult to make clean, because we like hearing these dead strings rather than it sounding like that chord changes very fast. So this just makes it easier. Now that we've done that, let's just try doing this entire bar, and then that will be the end of the video. So it'll look like this. Then to B minor 7, and then E. Go ahead and join me on the D. Down, up, down, up, down, B minor 7, down, dead strings to E, back to D, up, down, B minor 7, down, dead strings, E, dead strings. And I said that was going to be the end. Actually, let's just do the entire thing just for good measures. So, down, down, up, 1, 2, ready, go. Down, down, up, down, up, F sharp minor, down, up to D, here, down, up to B minor 7, down, dead strings to E. Let's do it one more time. A, right here, down, down, up, F sharp minor, to D, here, B minor 7, dead strings, E, end on the A. All right, everybody. So these were the first couple of bars for Paw Patrol, and this also shows up at the chorus later in the song. So I hope that this is helpful for you. I will see you in the practice video.